come Back to the Future where you know when
As president of the United States, I'm going to.
basically you know when they've got two different endings. You know, you can have basically like if Biff, you've got like the McFly family. If like Biff, you know, if he ends up kind of like defeating Biff, and then Biff's kind of like kind of subservient, or you've got like the ending where his parents are kind of like poor and unhealthy and you know so forth like that. Um, maybe you could do like a little kind of like scene, a little kind of like sketch where it's kind of like you know, if the oligarchs win and succeed, you know, and get everyone, you know, sort of, you know, all this kind of like surveillance state, and you know, like can't say or do what you want in your own house and so forth, like that George Orwell kind of thing, and all these big kind of like you know oligarchs and so forth, whatever. Or the other alternative of you know if you vote for Robert F Kennedy Jr. and you know everyone's kind of okay in a way that would work that sketch because you've got like obviously Roseanne Barr and John Goodman are actually a lot actually better, probably better in better shape than now than they were then in the show when back when they did the show. So in a way, that is kind of a little bit along the lines of that Back to the Future sketch, isn't it? You know, when you've got you know, like the you know, you've got like the McFly family if they kind of like didn't do as good versus kind of like the McFly family, you know, when you know when the um, different alternative ending kind of thing, you know, that could work in a sketch, um, you know, if you end up voting for RFK or whatever, as opposed to you know Trump or Biden or whatever. I reckon something like that would go down well. Americans definitely like that kind of thing, particularly mainstream. A lot of the mainstream because it's to do with trust at the end of the day. It's to do with these familiars, household name familiars, and trust. It's got a lot to do with, but also like funny comedy, making people laugh. But the only thing is that they've been doing this forever. It's how it's got like it is now. That's the problem. They've actually mastered it. You know, they've mastered it, and they've been, you know, they've been taking us to the cleaners, you know, ever since. So in a way, to do it, um, is kind of like just you know same you know it's not breaking the system, is it? Unless you do it in a way where it does break the system, you know, unless you could actually get the people to actually quit, you know, like quit the show while they're filming the show or doing the show or something like that. I don't know, but in England I know for sure they've definitely I think kind of the equivalent to that in England for sure is this whole Angela Rayner Labour thing with Starmer, because Rayner most definitely is like this sort of she's kind of like she's like the ultimate Coronation Street character, but it's not like acting. It's not like the TV show. It's like she's really this person, you know. And now she's kind of like you know leading the Labour Party with Starmer. So and he's called Starmer. So they've definitely taken it outside. They definitely brought it out of the television set now. They've definitely sprung the trap, so to say. They've kind of like gone sort of full sort of Truman Show with everyone really now, and the ballpark's now social media because they can have any incident anywhere, any event, of all the news things reporting on it and so forth, and they've got control. They've got the director and they've got the direction and production control on like a next level scale to any Universal Studios, that's for sure. without a doubt. I don't know to what extent they are with the other countries. In my opinion, I think. I mean, I think the Middle East has got problems for sure. The Middle East has definitely got issues, but I think that they've been kind of playing director producer on a universal scale with those countries. I think at a military level grade, or even maybe beyond this beyond leaders thing that Charles was talking about. Beyond our military, maybe. Well, it's corporate, isn't it? The corporate have got people going to their places, positioning all these, all these offers, deals. They have got a handle on everyone in a way, really. It's how you see it. This is the thing. I think the majority of people don't see the whole thing as kind of like all. I mean, they've got most days of the week now. They've got running like clockwork. Let's say that, because everyone's got to go to work or you don't get paid. And what they're wanting the surveillance for is so it runs even more like clockwork. And if one single thing doesn't go wrong, then like Jeff Bezos's workforce. He wants to know if someone has got a pimple on the nose or if they sneeze. If they pick a pinch of salt or whatever, or even if they don't fasten a piece of sellotape on straight. And that's kind of like obsessive. The interesting thing is that they call us all these things like Larry Fink behaviors are going to control behaviors, like this obsessive compulsive disorder they call it. I think even in Pink Floyd didn't Sid Barrett once go to record with Roger Waters and Pink Floyd, and there wasn't brushing his the newspaper reported or something that he was like compulsively brushing his teeth or something. Well, it's a good thing to brush your teeth quite a lot, not a bad thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Even if things like that. I think that these people are definitely got they are obsessive and compulsive. I think, compared to everyone else, compared to the majority of the population, I think they are obsessive compulsive. It's maybe Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the real thing as well. He's the real thing, but maybe it's already outside of the box now. Maybe it's past TV and acting. Maybe it's gone past that now because we've got all this, Stop Cop City stuff going off. We've got we've got real people now. What we've actually got, this is actually what's happening. We've got these like heroes, these actual real life characters, these people who are actually really doing things now. And I think that's actually brought it outside of the movie screen. And a lot of people now are tuning in and following all that, whether it's Stop Cop City or, your American truckers or whatever it is, Canadian truckers. So I actually think that it's actually gone. I definitely think that it is beyond the theatre now. It's definitely playing out in we've got, Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner is the working class. She's the hero. Politicians weren't people's like movie heroes or whatever. Maybe for George Galloway they were. They were just like the phone company. When you're a kid, right? Most children, unless you're George Galloway, of course, I don't think most children really are that interested in politics. Like not like this kind of Trump obsession. I think that's kind of through the whole YouTube and prime drink kind of be a rich YouTuber, like they used to have Snoop Dogg, be a gangster, have loads of money, never wear the same pair of socks twice. You got all this kind of thing to get the kids in to want to be famous YouTubers or successful or whatever. But I think definitely now it's not I think we've gone past this kind of whole Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, John Wayne kind of thing. It's definitely it's all out there now. So I don't know whether or not, maybe, I don't know whether it would be any point doing some kind of advert or sketch or whatever, because Robert Kennedy Jr. is meant to be the actual thing himself, isn't he? You know what I mean? But I think it always helps, and the thing is, maybe you could do like, you see, there's another philosophy or model called like grounding. It's like grounding lightning. Like if you act something out, then you kind of like. I think that's meant to be how dreams work. Like if you have bad dreams, it's like you dreamt it and then you got it. It kind of manifested in the dream. So then it doesn't end up happening in real life. Almost like if you attract the lightning to a certain place, and they say lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice or whatever, kind of like that. Maybe you could do some kind of sketch where Robert F. Kennedy has some kind of incident. See that kind of thing, but survives, and comes out. You see, I think that's why Trump had to act that out. I think that's why the whole Trump thing had to happen. That he had to play out when Trump comes out victorious with his fist in the air, because then it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's manifested it. You know what I mean? So I was going to give an example, another example. I forgot what it was going to be now. What was that example? Yeah, so sometimes they do these things, So sometimes some of these incidents happen, and they kind of do it on purpose, just so it's kind of happened, if you know what I mean. But like the outcome that they want.